Meet your new AI coach. Learn how an AI coach can improve your game. Hey everybody, Scott Ogan coming at you here. We're gonna go over this 18 Birdies app, the AI coach as they call it. I think that's pretty interesting stuff. I have a lot of thoughts about this already, just in general, but first off, let's just start with how well it does looking at a golf swing. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a look at my swing. I'm gonna show you what I think of my swing, and we're gonna do a video with this AI coach, and let's see what it thinks. And we will go from there and see how well it works, in my opinion, at least. So before we get there, if you're interested in just looking at your own swing, wanted to give a shout out to our partners, Live View Golf. These cameras, I've been using them for going on 5 or 6 years now. Love them, great feedback going straight to your iPhone or a device. What I love is it can set it up for auto record of your shots. You can play it back, draw all your lines, take a look at it. You only need the camera and a device. You don't need 2 separate devices. Plus, what I love is this automatically goes on the back of a alignment rod. It already is built for that, so that's amazing as well. You don't need the other attachments that you go with it. So all of that's great, and also they have their learning library coming out with it, so you can have some things that you can post up against and look at your swing as you're out there on the range. All right, let's get into it. Let's look at our swings. All right, so I've got my swing loaded up. I'm in Coach Now here. Let's take a look at, what do I think of my swing? Now, admittedly, I don't practice a whole lot about all the golf balls I hit, or anytime you see me on a simulator, and I'll play probably 10 to 12 rounds a year. So that's kind of where I'm at currently with it. The best I ever got in my life, I was a +4 handicap, when I was trying to play as a pro. And that was a lot of practice. And to be honest with you, I hit the ball better than I ever did in my life now. More because of what I know about the golf swing and how to move. But my short game is as bad as it's ever been in my whole life. Back then, I had really, really good short games. So that's how I made that work. But if I wish I could go back and combine it a little bit, that would be nice. But let's take a look at this golf swing and see what we get. So, couple things you're gonna see. One, if I had to look at my swing, my setup is always gonna appear forward bending. I'm gonna appear like I'm forward bending more than most. That is because we have, the magical belly right there, right in the middle of the golf swing. I mean, you have to have room for your arms to hang, and so, because I'm a bigger dude, I've got to bend more forward. Back in the day, I used to have longer clubs. I used to have them fit differently because, I was thinner, I was more in shape back then, all that stuff. So that's something you have to take into account as you're looking at a swing. You have to look at the body type you're dealing with. So that's gonna change things. As I go, one of the best things I think I do in my swing, I work really well with my feet. That comes from all the days of actually playing golf and playing other sports. It actually comes from a lot of hitting golf balls barefoot as well. Golf shoes tend to mask some sort of footwork errors. So I used to hit a lot of golf balls barefoot. Everybody always picks on me about the sandals, and they're like, that drives me nuts. It doesn't bother me whatsoever to hit a golf ball in barefoot or sandals, because my footwork is actually pretty solid, I think. So part of what you see, let's get that back up, is as I go back, you're gonna see me set into my right foot real early. Now that might pull me into what some people have said is it pulls you out of posture, that type of thing. I don't see that as much of an issue. I'm creating space from the ball, I'm getting away from the ball. Again, that's just kind of one of my things that I do. Now, one of the things I would like to see in my swing, but again, because of my body type, bigger chest, which I've always had that, it makes my swing have to go a little bit more vertical. If I kept my let's look at my left arm here. You know, if I kept my left arm in my swing, like low and across my chest, it would feel like I'm taking a quarter of a golf swing, and I don't like that. I can't play from there. So that's something I would work with. Now, from there, you know, the only thing that happens is it makes my arms go up high. I don't get to get what we call depth in a golf swing. So, you know, depth is getting that club, let's draw that better, getting that club to go more behind me here. That would promote more of a draw. I mean, I struggle to turn the ball over and do it well, in my opinion. It's just, that's something, if I was to go back and work on something ball striking wise, I'd work on drawing it with a little bit more consistency. Fading the ball, no problem, which from these types of positions you could do. And also, you know, my club face is fairly square to maybe just a fraction open, but it's pretty square at the top. So if I was to go deeper in my swing, I might look at trying to shut the face a little more. Just kind of had to see where that goes. From there on the downswing, I mean, I strike the ball pretty decent. So, you know, I'm gonna bring it because of where my arm position's at the top. You know, kind of modern day Tiger, you see this, but you're gonna see it come down a little bit more. It appears over the top. It's not really over the top, but it just has that steeper angle. And then because of that, I do tend to just kind of back out of it a little bit more, and just make sure I don't absolutely pull the crap out of the ball. But that's how I do it. But well, I'm interested to see, again, for me, what I would work on is if anything, I'd try to get more depth in the swing, get more rotation, and see what's going on. Other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. I don't really early extend in the golf swing that much. I move through it. I don't have any hang back, anything like that. So I'd be okay with it. Now let's go see what 18 Birdie says about it. I can't wait for this. All right. So we're looking at the swing here that we just captured. So it wants, let's see here. It wants us to frame the footage so it gets the swing. So I believe that's gonna be over here. So it's got a tiny window where you look at your swing. So it's gonna just pick that out. It's gonna watch the swing. One thing that, and then it's gonna ask for some information. That was a hybrid, and it's asking for an iron or a driver. So let's pick iron, and let's have it do some analysis here. So it's gonna analyze my swing, and then it's gonna say stay in the loop. All right, so it's gonna let me know when it's ready. Okay, so it's gonna take a few seconds, and then we'll go. So I guess we'll see in a few seconds when it's ready. Okay, so after about a minute there, now all of a sudden you can see it's popped up. It's analyzing my swing right here, and let's see if it agrees with what we had going on as far as what we're doing here. So it says less than 1 minute. There we go. All right, so it says swing success. We are ready, okay? And then it's giving me the notification and it's saying you can view it. My swing got a 1.4 out of 10. And I have 6 areas to improve. Oh my goodness, I am horrible. I'm a +2 handicap and I'm horrible. All right, let's see what these 6 areas. So here's what it's doing. It's going to a coach. The first thing it's pointing out, and we mentioned this in our live, my analysis, is it's saying I'm too bent over, and it's saying I'm gonna have a little bit of it's saying I'm not staying right on my spine angle right through this swing. So let's see if okay, so that's what it's saying. And it's got me up against the thinnest person in the world. So this coach is exactly the same body type as me. No, he's not. Let's see what else it's saying. So it's saying I'm standing up a little in my backstroke, in the backswing. I'm not staying in my posture. And that's it. It's done. Okay. So that's not 6 areas, that's 1. That's my top priority, maintain my spine angle. Okay, let's see. and then it gives you a drill plan here. Now this is I have the free month. I've got a video of a golf course. Okay, and there's an instructor. And she's telling me I'm standing up out of my posture on the way down. Okay. So here, if you remember from our video analogy, I'm just having an issue going through it. So it's, I mean, I feel terrible about myself if I'm doing this. It's just spine angle drills. So they give you a couple of drills, get the feel, then make it real. Okay, that's not bad. They're at least having you go through a progression of drills as you do this. Let's see. Yeah, and this is just going to be this is just a drill that you're going to do without even doing anything, with no club or anything like that. Okay, so there we go. That's my number one thing I've got to work on. I want to see all 6. I've got head movement in my backswing. I've got butt movement in my backswing. My spine angle at impact. My head position at impact, and my swing tempo. Swing tempo. How does that work? I don't even know. Good tempo helps you hit solid shots. Okay. All right. So All right. So let's talk about that. Here's a couple of things. You know, it's a brand new thing, something that's coming out. Here's a couple of my first impressions with it. One, at no point was there any talk about, you know, the desired shot that I want to hit or what I'm going for. So, you know, doing a swing analysis like this is something that it's based on no idea of what you're trying to do. It's based entirely on just having the camera read some angles. What it looks like is it just reads some posture angles and draws some lines. And here's another thing that goes with that. What if the camera angle is in the wrong position? You know, so I think this is a very dangerous tool, because if the camera angle's not correct, things are going to happen in your swing. I can't guarantee right now that that camera was 100% perfect for what we were going for, okay? I'm not able to see it. It was a little difficult to get set up. The camera window was tiny, like where you're supposed to put it. And then again, if you don't have a ton of space here, I don't have a lot of space in this spot. So, I mean, I had to set it all the way back, and the way you do that, it just kind of didn't work out very well. Now, you could use the front-facing camera. I guess we could try that, but usually that flips things around if you do those. But anyway, I just think it's a little bit of a dangerous tool. And the other thing is, you know, taking into account, you heard in my analysis of my swing, I'm just so much in this school, and I think as instructors, we're in this school of take what you have in front of you and then start seeing what you can do with it. That's why you start seeing so many different types of swings. You're seeing so many good players now because instructors have finally learned to work with what people have and then go with it. Are there some non-negotiables? Absolutely. There's some things that everybody does that you have to do. But if you look at a swing like Brooks Koepka, compare it to Dustin Johnson, compare it to Tiger Woods, compare it to Jordan Spieth, you know, back when he was playing good, right? I mean, but he's coming back too. You're Justin Thomas, all those guys. I mean, it's all of those things are starting to come around where it's like, hey, these guys all can hit the ball, and they do it in a lot of different ways. You know, then you got the Ches Reeves of the world. That guy can play, and he's not the longest, Ricky Fowler. So, you know, it's just the fact that it's a little disconcerting when I get a video of me and there is a body type next to me and I'm being told what to do from that. That worries me. What I get worried about is there was a long time with cameras and all of that where people were trying to chase positions and positions of people that they, you know, didn't match up with. If you're trying to compare to a tour pro, like I don't do that very much, if ever anymore, because, you know, those guys spend $50,000, $60,000 or more a year to have somebody train their body for their golf swing. And that makes their body move in those specific ways, whereas most of us don't do that. So I think it's really, really important to take this maybe with a grain of salt, see what it gives you. But to be honest with you, there's pretty much not a thing in there, especially the spine angle and the backswing. That's actually kind of the opposite of what I like to do. I want to get extending in the backswing. I want to feel like as I'm going back, my spine starts to extend. In the video tip I got, it said, you know, make sure your body stays down, but don't stay too down. It's not exactly what I like to see. I like to see things extend in the backswing, my right side start getting longer. That's exactly the opposite thought that I would want. So again, give it a shot if you want. I'd be interested to hear how it goes for you. But the other thing is there was no mention of club face, shots, anything that related to like, hey, here's how the ball goes. So to me, not something I would actually probably want to use or recommend that people use. I think you might get in a lot of trouble if you start thinking the magic answers are in some robotic swing teaching you. So hey, good news for us golf teachers and coaches. We got some job security, and I'm excited about that, at least, because this was interesting to see, and actually kind of you know, it doesn't make me feel good about, you know, where the industry's going if this is the type of stuff that's coming out, is that. So anyway, we'll see if it improves, and we'll update you if it does. All right. So that was the 18 birdies. That was the Swing AI, their coach, and yeah, that was my first run through it with it. Give it a shot. It's free for a month. See what you think. I did like one thing. I got to give it a props. I will give some props to it. All right. I did like in the practice plans, at least, the drills actually had a progression of drills. Now, I don't know about the drills, but I like that at least gets you into thinking that, all right, you got to start with this drill, then this drill, then this drill. I do like that. I will give them that I like the layout of that. But again, I think they're trying to tackle the impossible, which is I can coach somebody through a phone without knowing anything about them. I'm not going to take into account their physical capabilities, their build. I'm not going to take into account the shot they want to hit or they're trying to hit. I mean, all of that. I would never teach or coach somebody without knowing any of that, and I don't understand how you think you could if you weren't trying to know that stuff. So that's my thoughts on it, and looks like maybe some job security coming with it. So again, if you want a real helper when you're getting out there on the golf course, check out our partner LiveView. Down in the description below, there is a $40 off coupon for one of these cameras. Again, I've used them for years. Easiest camera to use, getting out on the course. Just bring your phone, bring the camera, bring an alignment rod. You'll be set up and you can just hit shots. It records them. You hit another shot, records the next one. Never ever have to bend down to your phone or touch your phone during a practice session if you don't want to. I think that's amazing. That feedback is really important. Hopefully it's good directed feedback from a good coach, something that we also do in our online coaching programs if you're interested in checking those out. So thanks everybody for watching. We will see you in the next video. We'll be back outside with the Mevo Plus. Can't wait to do it. Peace.